If you ever see me, act like you never knew me. Cause when you had me, you didn't know how to love me. Spent all your time running around, acting like a clown. Ooh, now how I get down. Loving you was never good for my soul. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. Cause you're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. Yeah. You're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. Man, and I don't want ya. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I gotta let you go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. If we should ever cross pathways, just look the other way. Cause the last time we spoke, you was full of insults of my intelligence. You don't make no kind of sense, man, and I'm so through with you. Loving you was never good for my soul. Yeah, I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. Cause you're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. Yeah, you're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. And I don't want ya. Da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Da 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 da. Eh oh. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Loving you was never good for my soul. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. Cause you're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. You're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. Loving you was never good for my soul. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. Cause you're just coming at the bottom of my shoe. You're just coming at the bottom of my shoe.
What it is, man. We are in the building. This is strictly DFW TV. You are tuned in to Center Stage with Jason. I have the pleasure, the honor to be in the building right now with one of the most fascinating, the most talented young lady I've just encountered just this week alone. And I want y'all to give a round of applause. Get ready for this. This is a crazy interview, so get ready. We have the one and only Tiffany Tatum. Somebody show some love to her right now. That's how we do it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Man, I'm telling you, overlooking some of the things that you've done over the course of your career, I'm surprised I have not. This is the first time I've ever got a chance to interview you. So
I was like,
I feel like I'm behind everything. So I may be introducing to some, but I'm presenting to others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is a big thing. You know.
Yeah.
So how's your 2018 been so far?
it's been great.
It's been
It's
great.
been smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. We'll take that. We'll take a smooth sailing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very smooth sailing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, all right. So I'm gonna tell you right now. I tried, and I don't know if you watched even some of the the flyers I put out to promote for this. I did not want to put you in a box. I didn't want to specifically say, hey, this is an R&B singer. This is a soul singer. I just said talented, gifted.
I
You know what I mean?
appreciate
Because
that.
I think that even listening to some of your music, even looking over your bio. I could not definitely just say, hey, this is all she is. You know what I mean? You are way far more talented to just put you in one type of genre, to put you in one type of music mode. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
just that talented. So I definitely want to let that be known that that's the reason why I did not say she was an R&B singer. She's not a soul singer. She's not an opera singer. She's so many different things. And we're going to dive into some of this other
Okay.
stuff because there's something I just, maybe about 2 hours ago, I just came across something and I was like, wow, like I wasn't ready for this. You know what I mean? I guess when, when I first, checked out your stuff, I'm
Hmm.
expecting one thing, but then when I watch some of these other videos, I'm like, man, this woman is gifted, you know. So,
Thank you.
we I like to kick it off. There's some people in the Metroplex who know who you are, but I
Mhm.
like to always treat every interview as if we don't know who you are. So
Ah,
we
right.
we gonna start from scratch. You know what I mean? Whether we
Okay.
got to start at the very beginning and then we're gonna build all the way up. It's what I like to call Back to the Future.
Ah,
We're gonna
right.
go back and then we're gonna come up to 2018. So
Okay.
one of my first questions I would have to ask you is, what is the way you started out? How did you start out into this game?
Lord, that's a long
that's a,
story.
that's
And to
a
be honest with you, it's such a long story that lately I don't even think about it anymore. So
really
it's so much going on. I just forget.
real man.
She over
So
here, she refreshes my memory on a lot of
is
stuff
that
because
right? Okay,
but
absolutely.
I've been doing it a very
A
long
very
time.
long time. So you know how most people start off. They say they start in the church. Is
Hmm.
that the same story for you?
Uh, no,
No, didn't start in the church.
it's
See,
more
see,
than
this
one
is why we glad
story.
we asking these questions. See, we got something new. Okay, she did not start in the church. How did you
Yeah,
start out?
it's just in my bloodline. My mom, my grandmother,
Okay,
um, it's in my family.
wow.
Singers, and the first person I ever really was attached to with their voice was my mom. My
Okay,
mom sings.
okay,
She try to
okay.
act like she don't now,
Right, yeah,
but
yeah.
she
Cause she
does.
want to
She's
push
just
you.
say right.
Absolutely.
But it started from her, then my grandmother. My
Okay,
grandmother was a singer, was in
okay.
groups and all that stuff growing up.
Yeah.
And then it started in my worship sessions
Okay,
that
okay.
with singing.
Yeah. Okay.
Um and then my mom, she took on to it and was like, "Girl, let's do something about it. You
Right,
need to do
right.
something about it." So she's the one that put me in a lot of vocal classes
Okay, okay.
to sharpen it, get it
Absolutely,
right, you
absolutely.
know?
Kudos to mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it
Can
started.
Can you remember the very first time you sang, maybe in front of a group of people?
Hmm.
How old were you?
Okay, my first time I was 12.
Okay.
Okay, and I
And so-
did I remember right?
yeah, I was about to say
Because she
three.
has a
Okay,
story.
all
She
right.
has
Mama say
so
it was 3 years old. Okay.
right. I was 3 in her eye. Yeah, what
okay.
she remembers. But
Okay.
me personally, I remember I was 12
Okay.
when I sung in front of a big crowd.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: do you remember what you sang?
Yes,
What
I
you sang?
sung Mariah Carey. Love takes time. And
Whoa.
Vision of Love. I was always attracted to big songs.
Right.
So
That is a huge song for a 12-year-old. You know what? That's a big song for a 30-year-old. Man,
so
that
it
is a.
was Mariah Carey, Vision of Love, and Love Takes Time. I also was an In Vogue fanatic.
Okay. Okay.
So I sung all the 4 parts to In Vogue.
Watch y'all now. Watch y'all. She said, I didn't want to just be one of them. I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to
was
sing
all
all
of
them parts. Yeah.
them. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it started, and then it was I was quiet with it too. I
Okay.
would only go to school. I would take it to school in
Right.
music class
Right.
and worship session, and that was it.
Okay.
It didn't
Okay.
go anywhere else
Yeah.
with me. But people start talking about it. So when they start talking about it, I start getting bum rushed at school. Say,
Absolutely.
I heard you can blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, if you can't sing, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So I need you to sing.
Yeah. And you showed them up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that tells me either two things. Were you shy or were you not shy?
No, I wasn't
You
shy.
weren't shy. Okay.
I
Okay.
wasn't shy.
So you one of them ones who maybe even when you first singing out, you're not crying when you sing.
Right.
You're very
Well,
confident. You
people
held
used to
your
have to
own.
beg me to sing because, like I say, I only kept it in
Right. Right.
worship and in
Absolutely.
music class, but it started seeping out and leaking to other places,
Okay.
and so yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
man, I like that. So, I mean, you said your mother started out singing, your
Mhm.
grandmother, different other influences like
Influences,
that. So,
right?
who would you say outside of your family,
Okay.
who would be one of your other influences when it came to music?
Ooh.
And
That's a lot too, but I'm gonna try to.
I'm kind of cheating right now because I did read her bio, but I want her to tell y'all, because I'm telling you, some of these names y'all gonna be like, what? I didn't ping that, but we're gonna let her say it. So who are your influences?
Ooh, Lord. You said we're gonna take it back and then go
Yeah,
to the future.
we'll
Okay,
take it back,
so okay, my inspiration, my first musical inspiration was Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Whitney Houston, of course.
Yeah.
It was the Patti LaBelle's.
Yeah.
CC Peniston.
Okay.
Who else? Mama, it was so many. I was into Celine Dion at
Okay.
one point, and from that to,
I'm going back to that
the
too.
Clark
Yeah.
sisters. If you want to go into
Show
like
you
the
right.
gospel,
Show
I
you
was
right.
into them. What else? Ooh, opera coach wise. I had my first vocal instructor was a vocal coach.
Okay.
And what her name was? What was her name again? That's so long ago.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with New Art
No.
6.
No.
Okay. They're at
Okay.
the Black
Okay.
Academy.
Okay. So I need to expand my horizon.
Ah!
I'm telling you. I mean,
But
I'm
that
in
was
school
my
right
first vocal trainer. Like, yeah, her name was Glenn. Thank you.
now. Okay.
Glenda Clay. That's sad. I was getting ready to say Gloria, but I didn't want to.
Her too. Glory helped too.
She was my first
Okay.
tough instructor.
Yeah.
Which she was an opera coach, an opera singer.
Okay.
I'm also into opera too.
Absolutely.
I respect the art. I respect the craft, all of it.
Right.
All different angles of it. Classical, all of it.
And that's one thing that I can say that I appreciate when it comes to even listening to some of your music is that it doesn't, like I said when we first start off, it's not one genre. You know what I mean? It shows that you have appreciation for music as a whole.
I do.
It's just that whole entire piece that comes together, and that's why when you put it all together, you come out with a masterpiece like some of these songs that we heard. But we're gonna dive into that a little more because
Okay.
there's so much more we got to talk, man. We y'all tune in, but we're gonna jump into one of her tracks. So we are now listening to Tiffany Tatum. We're gonna come back and we're gonna discuss this next track that's about to hit it. This is Center Stage with Jason. Let's go.
Please let me testify. You accusing me of loving on someone else. Please let me testify. You're saying I don't love you, but that's a lie. Please let me testify. How can you not see my love I have for you? Please let me testify. I've done everything to prove to you that my love is true. Ooh, before you walk away, let me plead my case. Why don't you believe me? Falsely accusing me. Please let me testify. You accuse me of her. You accuse me of her. Please let me testify. You accuse me of her. You accuse me of her. Before you throw my love away. Before you throw my love away. Before you throw my love away. Just hear what I'm trying to say. Please let me testify. You accuse me of her. You accuse me of her. Please let me testify. You accuse me of her. You accuse me of her. Please let me testify. You swear that I'm cheating when I'm not in your side. Please let me testify. And you swear I don't love you. You know that's a lie. Please let me testify. Why can't you see my love I have for you? Please let me testify. You're treating me bad for no reason, but you're not right. Ooh, before you walk away, let me plead my case. Why don't you believe me? You're falsely accusing me. Please let me testify. You accuse me of her. You accuse me of her. Please let me testify. Ooh. Before you throw my love away. Before you throw my love away. Before you throw my love away. Just hear what I'm trying to say.
And you don't stop with your lies and all. Why you forfeit? I was just trying to go ball, drape you in designer clothes, put you way before my bros. Now I'm asking you the question, friend or foe? Let you testify, I thought you were my ride or die. Overlooked the nonsense, hoping you would remain my sweet innocent baby girl that I started with. Now I'm always like, who the hell you hit the club? If you can't hear me, you can dub this. Don't try to change the subject. You want me to fall back, but I'm like, no, you can't be trusted. Now look at how the tables turn. Might as well just let it burn, burn like a perm. Guess there's some things you just never learn. Say that I'm assuming, but I feel like I'm so sure with it. Give you just to do all the things that I adore. I'm not believing it's the truth, so you be begging me for more, but you don't stop. Yeah.
Please let me testify. Ooh, hey, yeah. Ooh, before you go my love away, before you go my love away, before you go my love away, just hear what I'm trying to say. Ooh, hey, yeah. Before you go my love away, before you go my love away, before you go my love away, just hear what I'm trying to say.
What up, what up, what up? We back on air. This is Center Stage with Jason. And that track right there was called Testify, if I'm not mistaken. All right. We have the lovely Tiffany Tatum in the office on today. So we just checking out her first track, Testify. Do you want to tell us a little something about that song? How was that come about? You don't want to talk about that one, huh?
No, I don't. That's what happens when you write based off exactly what you're going through,
Right.
how you're feeling.
Right.
And now it's like I have to hear it. I'm like, ugh,
Really?
yes.
So is that not a song that you don't like performing even live?
Oh, I perform.
Oh, do you
Yeah,
perform it?
I
You just
perform it.
okay. But it's a storyline to it.
It's a storyline.
It's
to
attached
it's a
to
real
it. Okay.
storyline to it.
But that makes music even better when we
I
know that
know.
it's real life stuff. You're
It's
not
real
talking
life.
about stuff you never lived through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how we can tell when you attach yourself to a song. You know what I mean? Now these aren't just lyrics; these are emotions coming out of you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
They were real.
yeah. Okay. We won't dive into that because we don't want to get too personal. But for those who are listening, that was a true song, inspired by a true story. So
Yeah,
that only
it was.
heightens the song right there by itself to know that this is a true
It was
story.
a true
I mean,
story.
don't you want to see a movie when you know it's like inspired by true events? You'd be like, oh man, this really
It
happened.
was really,
So
yeah.
so this is good. Okay. So let me ask you, Tiffany, as writing, have you always wrote your own music? So you
I honestly is the one that kind of boosted me up with
Okay.
writing.
Okay.
I've always been a writer, but I was shy about it. Like I said, growing up, I kept things in their place.
Right.
So with writing, I didn't really talk about that.
Okay,
Because I
okay.
wasn't, honestly, I wasn't as confident
Okay.
about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
My brother is the one that kind of, girl,
Right.
you need to sing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Everything that you're writing, you need to sing it.
I'll be honest with you. I've always found a great sense of honor for people who write their own music. To me, I mean, and I'm not hating on anybody who goes out here and they're handed the lyrics and they sing a song. Nothing wrong with that, but it's a whole different ball game when I know that somebody actually took the time and wrote these lyrics. That shows that they're connected to it. They're invested in this. This
Yeah.
it almost becomes like your baby. You know what I mean? It's something.
You know what? You're right, because whenever I hear it, I think of the first time.
Right.
Maybe like I heard the beat.
Yeah.
Just the first time with everything regarding
Absolutely.
that song.
Yeah.
I even have, which is weird. I'm good at arranging as well. I've arranged some music.
Okay.
too, and it's always something in my mind. It's like this picture in my mind of what I arranged. It's like a design or a pattern or something. It's hard to explain.
No,
but
that's
it's
beautiful.
kind of like it pops up every
Right.
single time I hear the song, or if it's something I arranged and wrote.
Right.
It's this certain that whatever design or pattern that came to me
Right.
with that song, that pattern always pops up again. It's
I
hard to
like that.
explain.
I like that. I've never heard that before. I like that though.
But it's like a pattern.
That is beautiful. Okay, so it's basically a masterpiece when it's all finished and done. It's a masterpiece. You've designed it, and do you find it hard sometimes when you see those designs in your mind, when you're seeing those things and trying to project it out?
Yes, because then I sound like a bitch when I'm trying to get it across to someone
Right.
else.
So okay, so that brings me up to, and we're going to go back to that. But does it bring you to the point where? And I always find that sometimes when you're dealing with music, sometimes I can't necessarily write to music that's already been made. Like if you give me a beat, sometimes I struggle with it because I was not there. I wasn't a part of that, the creation of that.
Yeah.
So in order for me to feel like I'm really attached to that song, I have to be a part of it. I have to be a part of the bass line. So I there's emotion that comes out of that bass line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when someone presents something to you, do you have that same issue when sometimes when songs are presented to you, do you often find it a struggle to go ahead and write to it, or do you think
if it's just fire off the top,
Okay.
something to quickly come.
Right.
But if it's a song, oh, that's nice, but it hasn't hit me yet.
Right. You have to listen to it a few more times, and then all of a sudden you start.
And I don't even like to sit and try to, let's sit and come up with something.
Okay.
No, it has to play.
Yeah.
Let me clean up.
Right,
Sometimes I can clean
right,
up,
right,
do
right,
other
right.
stuff and let that music play, and then it'll come to me.
Wow.
It just has to come naturally. I don't like forcing stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm amazed because this is if anyone ever wanted to see a true artist, this is what a true artist is right here. Because and understand, and the reason why I'm saying this is because artistry is such a big thing, and it's not as simple as everybody thinks. That when you hear these songs come out, that if you think that it was just somebody sat in a booth and somebody put lyrics to a beat and that's all it was, it's design. And to hear somebody explain it the way you're explaining it to me almost gives me this appreciation. Like, man, this is what it's all about.
That's why I started doing it, and I mean things have changed.
Okay.
The industry, everything has changed.
Right.
People's perception of stuff, music is different,
Yeah.
So somebody else may have a different appreciation for it. They may not see it the way I'm
Right.
seeing it, but that's what's kept me in this as long as it has, because of the joy. I enjoy it.
Absolutely. There we go.
If I don't like it,
Absolutely.
or if it's then no, I don't want to do it.
So I wasn't planning on answering this question, but just even talking to you right now, I just want to pick your brain, because I think you have one of the most fascinating brains I've ever seen on air. But
not on the spot. No.
But I just want to pick your brain a little bit. The state of the music industry right now, how do you feel about that? I mean, when it comes to putting out quality good music, how do you feel that it's changed over the course of a few years? Maybe when you first were presented to it when you were a young girl to now, do you think that we are taking a step back? Do you think that we're advancing? How do you take it?
I do have a lot to say.
Come on.
But let me pick my words. Let me choose wisely.
Hey, this is a free show. You can say whatever you want to say. Yeah.
I feel like, it has been watered down.
Mm-hmm.
I have favorite artists that's out right now.
Okay.
That I adore.
Right.
That I'm into.
Right.
But the people that I'm interested in, that I have love for, that's still in the game, their stuff has changed.
Right.
And I know why it's changed. Well, I feel like I know why it's changed.
Yeah.
It's to keep, I guess, a new audience that this may be their first time hearing of this artist.
Right.
And it's to keep them intrigued.
Yeah.
And then it's to keep your old fans still like, oh, okay, she can do that too.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But some of it is just to get a quick check.
Yeah.
Make some quick money.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that. And I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, then what?
Yeah.
It's gone. It's the past.
I agree with you.
You're in this game just to make a quick buck off of a hit song or something, you'll get that.
Yeah.
But what's to come after that?
Absolutely. See, I completely 100% agree with you right now, because I mean that's exactly the way I feel about it. I think that a lot of artists that there's a few artists that has had longevity in this industry, and that's a very hard thing to do.
Yes.
But sometimes I think that what they do is they change who they are. They try to keep up with the times, and sometimes when keeping up with the times, what they do is they water down their talent. They want to mimic what everybody else is doing, but what made you famous, what made you an artist, was you using your own gift, your own craft, without stuff there trying to mimic everybody else. And that's the reason why most of the time when they talk about freshman albums and the sophomores and so on and so forth. They always say the most times the freshman album is the greatest album. Why? Because that was a raw album.
And they was able to take their time.
Absolutely.
They was able to get in their zone.
That's big right there.
Came to them naturally.
That's big.
When it's the sophomore, it's pressure after
That's
that.
big.
You know, you might have a bigger team of people in
Absolutely.
there helping you, right?
Absolutely.
That don't know your method of how you create.
Right.
You know, so that's
that's so huge, man. This is
about that?
boy, that is so huge because that's exactly the way I think that it is rushed because I think that so many people are expecting more. Like, oh well, you just dropped that song. I mean that album. So when's the next one coming out? And so now you don't have that because before nobody knew who you were.
Right.
And so you had as much time as you want to. You had years upon years to
sure
own your craft.
Like this, right?
You sat there and you wrote some songs that didn't really go too well. You're like, oh, we're going to delete that, you know, but you had that time. But when you in that rush, you're like, oh, man, we got to put out new music and new material. And then everybody wants to sit there and tell you how to do things and tell you that, oh, do it like this. Do it just like so-and-so. Right. Well, that's what's wrong with the industry right now.
But
is because
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
That's, to me personally, that's always been the problem.
Right.
Because whether people know it or not, labels don't know anything.
Right.
You know, they don't. You have to convince
them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And really, but yeah, they don't know anything, and they're trying to keep their money going, so they're looking at the next big thing.
Yeah.
Or whoever, if that label signed that artist and that artist sound like that, they took a chance on that artist.
Right.
So now this label over here is looking for somebody just like
absolutely.
that over there.
Absolutely. So it starts becoming like a cookie cutter industry.
Right. So you have to decide for yourself. If that's really what you want. Like, what are you in it for?
Yeah.
It's different levels to this game.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
and so speaking of myself, I play, I stay in my lane.
Right.
I go at my pace and how I want to do it.
And I brought all that up is because I think that when I listen to your music, I definitely see that you are not trying to be like anybody else. You are unique.
People try to make, and I keep cutting you
off. No, you good. You good. This is what we have. We having great rapport right now. This is how
people cut me off. No, but
this is good. This is good. Yeah.
But
I think that when I hear artists and I can sit there and pinpoint exactly who, like, oh man, that sounds just like Tank. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Oh, that sounds just like Breezy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to hear artists, and it may be that, because let's be honest, you know what I mean? We look at some of the greats, Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? James Brown. They all may have taken a little piece.
They got inspired. And you can hear their inspiration.
Absolutely.
But it was still Rick James. It
absolutely.
was still James Brown.
Absolutely.
It was still them.
You get the inspiration, and you hone it to become your own. That's what you do. But you don't go out here and mimic everything you hear. This is not karaoke. We out here trying to sit there and really do music. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So with that being said, I have another question to ask you. Past or present, dead or alive, what artist would you love to work with?
Janelle Monáe.
Okay, I like that.
Like I said, it's different sides to
right,
me.
Right, yeah.
So it would have to be more than one artist.
Okay.
But that's the one I picked first.
Okay.
Janelle Monáe. And I know I love Erykah Badu.
Okay.
She's from Dallas.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Respect.
Absolutely.
All day.
Yeah.
Day.
Already.
But yeah, I love me some Erykah Badu, of course. I said Janelle Monáe. Who else am I into? Ooh, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
You would know who it is.
They may know who it is. Who else?
Let me see. Who's it? Oh, y'all like? Do you listen to? I'm going totally silent.
Let's go.
Six Black.
I ain't never heard. What type of what genre is it?
Black. Okay, but you can call him 6 Lakh because it's the way his name is spelled or whatever. But just go look him up.
Wait, hold on. I seen that on just the way it was like on iTunes. I never listened to it, but I remember seeing like it was an album.
I'm sorry.
There was an album.
What? Did you? Am I covered?
We good. Yeah.
Right y'all need a mirror right here.
Why are we getting so many likes right now? Why is everybody loving this page right now? We're gonna go to break real quick. We're about to check out another one by Tiffany Tatum. You listen to Center Stage with Jason. Let's go.
It's something about you. It's something about you, boy. Ooh, it's something different about you. I knew it from the first time that we met. I knew right then I was the one for you. You're unlike no other. No, no other. It's something about you. It's something about your boy. Something about you, boy. 'Cause the eyes, they never lie. The eyes, they never lie. No, eyes never lie. That's why it's so easy for me to push them all away. 'Cause when it comes to you, no one can take your place. That's because I know what's on in store when it comes to you and I. And that's because when I look at you, I see my future in your eyes. When you look at me, I see what you see. There's no denying that it's so much love in your eyes. I knew it from the first time we met. It's a time I won't forget. No, you are like no other. Something about you, yeah. Something about you, boy. 'Cause them eyes, they never lie. No eyes, they never lie. No eyes never lie. That's why it's so easy for me to push them all away. 'Cause when it comes to you, no one can take your place. That's because I know what's on in store when it comes to you and I. And it's because when I look at you, I see my future in your eyes. That's why it's so easy for me to push them all away. And it's because when I look at you, I see my future in your eyes. I know.
Hey, welcome back. We was back on air. This is Center Stage with Jason. I got the one and only Tiffany Tatum. I'm having probably a ball right now, just discussing so much music with her this afternoon. That last track we just heard, what was the name of that track?
That one was called Future.
Future? Okay.
I love that song.
Is there? Oh, you love that song. Okay, so is there a story to this one?
Yeah.
Is it a good one? Do you want to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's two sides to the
Okay.
to the song for me. One side of it, it makes me think of my mother and her husband, which is my stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a father to me
Absolutely.
anyway. But it makes me think of their relationship and how beautiful their relationship is to me.
Yeah,
She says all the time he's her soulmate, my mother.
that's beautiful.
And they just match so well together. And with those lyrics, those lyrics inspired me through her. And
Right.
it also, as far as myself, it makes me think of my future husband.
Yeah, yeah,
Wanting to be on that pathway with him.
absolutely, absolutely. I like
Yeah,
that.
and it also makes me think of my heavenly Father as
Okay.
well. It
No
makes
doubt,
me think
no
of the
doubt.
first time I was introduced to him. I actually remember that. My grandmother was describing him to me, and I promise you, it was like he was coming into the room.
Yeah.
I felt his presence coming into the
Absolutely.
room when she was describing him to
Yeah.
me. So yeah.
Watch out now. See, she made me like the song even more now.
Yeah, there's a meaning. It means something.
You hear the history
to me.
behind it. You adore that song, man. That's beautiful. Okay, so Tiffany, we already talked about your past influences, you know, people that you listen to, and so I told you before we even got on the interview that it was something I came across, and I definitely wanted to kind of talk on that. So I was going through all of your YouTube videos. I probably spent about two
What did you
hours
go
going
through?
through every single one of them. You know, I'm like borderline stalking you on YouTube. So
Wow.
I came across two videos that really stood out to me, and one of the first ones was you had did a cover to Adele, "Hello," and I was like, man, she can't just jump in there and try to do "Hello." I mean, this is a major song, and you killed that song. So right
Thank
up
you.
under "Hello," there was another one, and it caught my eye because I was like, wait, does that say Celine Dion? And it was "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion, and I tell you, like right up there, like I don't know that many brave singers. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you, I don't know that many brave singers that would even attempt that song. And when I listen to it, I'm hesitant. I'm like, oh, get it, get it, get it. And 100% mastered that song, and I'm like, this is unreal. Like this song should be recorded by you for an album for yourself versus just on YouTube because that's how good this rendition was.
Thank you. Thank
That
you.
showed me right then and there that you are. That's the reason why I say I can't put you in a box. I have to say that
I
you can
listen
do
and
so much.
respect a lot of different genres of music. I get
Wow.
bored easily, so I have my time with one set of music, and I'm like, let me
Yeah.
go up here and let me hear
Absolutely.
this. Let me vibe off of this.
So you said that earlier. You may mention that you did some work in opera or you liked opera. So do you want to tell us a little more about that? I mean, this is giving us a whole nother spin of things.
I had a lot of questions regarding it because a lot of people think that opera is so difficult, and I mean it is if
Yeah.
you allow it to just be
Absolutely.
difficult. But if you really want to learn it, it's not.
Right.
I just learned about the vocals and what they can and can't do,
Absolutely.
opposed to
Yeah.
what another artist can do. Someone that's more open to everything,
Absolutely.
classical,
Yeah.
R&B, all of it.
And
So
that showed me so much. I mean, you can definitely tell that you are not somebody who just came out and said, "Hey, I'm just going to be a singer." There's training that came
well,
into
I
this.
learned well, I was told that if it's something you want to do,
Right.
you should go for it and study on it and
Absolutely.
see what else is out there because that's going to be your competition.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, so yeah,
I,
and even now, I like to just look around and see what's still out there.
yeah.
You know, sometimes my spirit has been uneasy and down sometimes when I hear certain things on the radio. It
Right.
hurts,
Right. Right. Right.
you
Right.
know, because I'm so sensitive and
Right.
passionate about what I do.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it hurts
Yeah.
sometimes.
I, I completely understand that.
But I always think about, what got you into wanting to do this,
Right.
and
Right.
that's what keeps me
Absolutely.
going.
Absolutely.
You can't worry about. And what's the Frankie Beverly said this from Maze. He
Yeah.
said, and y'all know he is old.
Yeah.
He's old school.
Right.
You have to do what you enjoy doing, whatever genre it is
Absolutely.
that you like to sing or do. Do that. Don't let anybody change that.
Absolutely.
It's okay to keep up and see what's out there
Right.
and sharpen yourself.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
don't get watered down. Do not
Absolutely.
water
That is
yourself
the
down.
word of the day. Don't get watered down. Stop that. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm telling you, I'm looking at so much range in your voice. There's so much things that you can do with your voice that you don't see on a regular basis when it comes to artists out here, and that all comes from being instilled from your mother, being instilled from your grandmother, being instilled from the what do you call it? The hard vocal coach that you had,
That you
Miss
said.
Maria. Was it Maria?
It was
I don't know. I'm
Glenda,
probably
Miss Clay, her
Miss
and
Clay.
my other vocal trainer. His name was Brian Scheckschneider.
See, you already know his training was hard.
Scheck
We can't even
Schneider.
say his last name. That's how
Right.
hard his training was. But yeah, I mean, it showed how much that it's not just something basic. You something. I mean, you can do anything. You running and
I don't know if y'all familiar with Bill Riley. He's
Yeah.
also a vocal trainer too, and I had the privilege of being trained by him as well.
And you can tell it. I mean, you definitely could tell it. So let me ask you, what is your current endeavors? Are you
Okay.
working on any albums right now?
Yes.
Performances?
As we speak, I am. So I wouldn't forget.
Okay.
But yeah, we talked earlier about writing.
Okay.
And so I have been writing, and I
what's up.
had submitted some things to a label that's interested in me as far as a license deal is concerned with some of my music.
Nice.
So I've been quiet on it, but that's pretty much what I'm
This
doing
is
in the
exclusive,
background.
y'all. Yeah.
Um, Also, I've been auditioning for different commercials.
Okay. Okay.
I've been called. I'm trying to get it all. Just
Right,
get it
yeah,
in.
yeah. Might as well.
And like I said, the album. I'm working on another album, where I'm wanting to produce my own.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
if anybody knows how Tiffany Tatum is in the studio and with music, and when I get mad,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna do it myself.
Absolutely.
I've always been musically inclined like
Right.
that. I used to play the saxophone. I grew up playing the saxophone.
Nice.
So that's another side of me. That's
Okay.
in me as well. What else? Let me see what else I won't forget. Oh, that's another thing I want to ask you. I did a show with H Town
Okay.
not too long ago, and I just wanted to know if you got to hear about it or see it or whatever. This was just a few months ago.
I saw it. I think I saw photos on Facebook. I got to see it. I got to see photos on
I had
Facebook.
so much fun doing that. As far as the performance is concerned, I always tell people to go to my website.
Right.
But as far as the singing
live
is concerned, I've been doing a lot of private stuff.
Okay.
So it's been a lot of private events, luncheons for different corporate,
Blitz Production.
Ooh, what was that? That
we
just
good.
slapped me in the face right there. Like, what was that? Oh my God, are we still on air? That's all I know.
we on there.
That just slapped me all upside the ear. That hurt. Okay. But like I was saying, I've been doing a lot of different private events, and I've enjoyed that. But that's, as far as the public is concerned, the last big public thing I did was with H Town.
Okay, with H Town.
And so I had a good time. Look, they brought me all the way back.
So as far as fans trying to, this is something I think everybody who's a lover of music, no matter what type of music it is, how are they going to be able to see you? Are these events that you're doing? Can everybody go to? Are these
that's
more
why I
like
said private, because if it's
exclusive?
private, it's more like an example, a wedding.
Okay.
So if it's a wedding or a reception or something,
or you need
like,
some wedding crashes.
I don't say nothing. Like, what's the point in sending? They come in. Oh, we came in here to see Tiffany Tatum, which would be good.
You better believe it. And get some chicken. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm making me a plate, and I came to see her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
But and I don't want to disrespect the person that I got the offer from.
I respect that.
But everybody just keep watching me. Just go to Tiffany Tatum Music to get all the latest details on everything.
So you mentioned the one that you're working on right now. That's going to be your third album, right? Is that your third or?
Yeah, that is the third.
Okay. Yeah. See, I did my research.
No, it's 4 actually.
Is it 4? Okay, I did not do my research.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I take it back.
Okay. It's okay. Yeah. This will be my 4th.
Really?
One, actually.
So
real talk,
what can you say about yourself that maybe happened in the first album that now that you're working on your 4th album that you can say that you've grown as an artist? Is there anything that kind of stands out to you that you're like, man, if I would have known this back then, I would have done it this way?
Really genuinely sitting down and praying for what I want.
Okay.
And explaining to him what vision I see for myself.
Right.
And as far as the music is concerned, asking him to bring out of me something else that's there that I may not know, I may not see. I ask him to bring that out of me.
It's funny you say that, because when I talk to other artists, I always say, man, there's a sound that's deep within you. I think that if you have a gift of music, I believe that there's a sound in you that you haven't even discovered yet. And so many times, I think that, once you finally hit that sound, it's going to give you goosebumps, because you're going to be like, oh my goodness, where did this come from? But it's a sound that was already projected in you. And it just, sometimes, I don't know if it's going to be a beat. I don't know if it's going to be a life experience. I don't know what it's going to be, but something's going to come out of you. And that's the reason why when I was reading your bio, I felt like, to be continued. When I was reading it, I'm like, to be continued, because there's so much more that I believe is to come out of you. And, we're going to dive back into that. But right now we're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump into another one of your tracks. We'll discuss that, and we'll find out what the name that was. Listening to Center Stage with Jason. I got Tiffany Tatum. Let's go.
about you. It's something about you, boy. Ooh, it's something different about you. I do it time. Boy, no other. No, no other. It's something about you. It's something about your boy. Something about you, boy. 'Cause the eyes, they never lie. The eyes, they never lie. No, eyes never lie. That's why it's so easy for me to push them all away. 'Cause when it comes to you, no one can take your place. That's because I know what's on the store when it comes to you and I. And that's because when I look at you, I see my future in your eyes. When you look at me, I see what you see. There's no denying that it's so much love in your eyes. I knew it from the first time we met. It's a time I won't forget. No, you are like no other. There's something about you, yeah. Something about you, boy. 'Cause them eyes, they never lie. No eyes, they never lie. No eyes never lie. That's why it's so easy for me to push them all away. 'Cause when it comes to you, no one can take your place. That's because I know what's on the store when it comes to you and I. And it's because when I look at you, I see my future in your eyes. That's why it's so easy for me to push them all away. And it's because when I look at you, I see my future in your eyes.
Hey, we back on there. This is Center Stage with Jason. I got the one and only Tiffany Tatum. We checked out another one of her tracks. I'm telling you, every single one of them was a banger. Everyone is talented. So, do you want to tell us a little more about that one?
Future.
Future. That was it. That was Future.
called
Okay,
Future.
so we talked about Future. So
Yeah.
let's off air we were having a little discussion. You were telling me a little more about how you're teaching your nephew.
Yes.
So you want to tell us a little more about that?
In my spare time, I love teaching my nephew. He just turned 3.
Okay.
And I've had him since he was a month old. He's my baby.
That's what's up.
And
Us a little more about
I
that?
enjoy teaching him.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing.
Okay.
I'm not just, no, seriously. He's
Right.
reading. He can read. He's reading full sentences now.
Wow.
And I'm not playing. He'll come in here trying to read.
What?
And I'm now serious, and I love it. I love every bit of it. He loves to learn,
Yeah.
and I want to keep that in him.
That's beautiful. I mean,
Staying
especially
hungry
that
for
age.
learning.
Yeah, that age
Yes.
of what 3? I mean, those are one of the moments where they say the kids are like sponges. You know, what I mean, they're absorbing so much information.
He has a
and
photographic memory that is out of this world.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
He does. That boy, I have to
Yeah.
keep him
Reel 'em
settled
back, yeah.
because he'll think he know more than me.
Absolutely,
but,
absolutely. Sounds like a 3-year-old, but this one's
Yeah,
intelligent. This one's
I
smart.
really
yeah.
enjoy teaching him. I really, really, really genuinely
Yeah.
do. I've been getting, people been hitting. Can you? No,
Yeah.
because if I can't
try-
whoop him, I don't want.
Hey, that's my rule when talk about babysitting. If I can't whoop them, I ain't
I
keeping your
can't
kid.
whoop him. I
Yeah,
don't want him.
I'm not going to return them back to in the same condition they came over here with. But what other endeavors are you into? I mean, I think I read that you were into modeling. There
Modeling,
was some fashion. There was some acting. I mean, we
Yes,
did touch
all
on
of it.
about
Yeah,
some commercials.
right.
But like acting wise, what are you doing with that?
Plays. I'm into plays.
What
I don't know
kind
if
now?
you're into like big.
Yes.
Yes, I love belting.
Okay.
That style of singing. I
Yeah.
love it with no microphone.
Absolutely.
Yes, and acting. So that's the
Okay.
part of Broadway
Yeah,
stage.
I'm telling you, this girl is just killing the game. You have any upcoming plays that we can go to? Maybe a hookup on some tickets?
Yes, all
two
of
for
that.
30 or
Once I
something like
get
that?
the date, it will be on TiffanyTatumMusic.com.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
everybody, please
Yeah.
go. Feel free anytime to go to TiffanyTatumMusic.com.
Absolutely.
Feel free. I tell people that all the time.
Okay.
Just go.
Just go.
So what you been doing? Go to TiffanyTatumMusic.com.
That's where you're gonna get all the updates for music. Anything that she's doing, stage plays.
Yes.
I say movies because that may come up too. You know what I mean? So anytime you want to know what's going on, TiffanyTatum.com. Is that right?
Tiffany Tatum Music.
TiffanyTatumMusic.com. Don't leave out that music. You know what I mean? She's doing
Tiffany
big
Tatum
things out here. I
Music.
mean, it's not just music. I mean, she's doing so many great things. Like I told you. I always like to ask the artists, what is your mission statement that you would say to let everyone know, your career life? What would you let them know? This is what I'm out here doing.
I am out here trying to get it. Okay.
Trying to get
He
it.
just told you everything that I'm doing, acting, modeling, all
Yeah.
of that. It's more sides to me than just singing.
Absolutely.
I adore that. I
Yeah.
enjoy that. It's like a high.
Right.
You know, that you can't ever get enough of. But it is other sides. And so what I say to people is just embrace that. Whatever else
Absolutely.
you're good at,
Absolutely.
don't put all your eggs in one basket. Was
Absolutely.
what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say.
Yeah.
So if you're good at other things, embrace those things too, and just incorporate them
Yeah.
in with.
Yeah. See, I typically like to ask people. I was like, "Hey, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?" Apparently, I don't have to ask her
I would
because
be-
she
I can
would be
tell you what I'd
grinding
be
on these
doing.
other things. She'd be like, "Did you not hear about the other 6 things I do with my life? That's what I would be doing if I wasn't doing music." So you
And I'm also I just talked to my brother just a few days ago. He called me about this, but I'm gonna be honest with some of because I already feel like certain people are watching me that really know me as far as my music and
Okay.
singing is concerned.
Right.
And I just want them to know that I'm tapping back off into the vocal training again. So
that's what's up.
I will be taking people in. They can inbox me for that too.
Okay.
Like real
Oh,
time.
that's
So,
dead serious. Yeah.
Yeah. With
Okay.
vocal training. I'm tapping back into it.
Okay.
To be really good at what you do,
Absolutely.
you have to get you're learning all the
Absolutely.
time. So I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
for
yeah,
another.
yeah.
I'm looking for a trainer
Absolutely.
as well,
Okay. Okay.
and then I can train as
somebody.
well.
Okay.
It's always good to keep that open like that.
So you also mentioned about saxophone. Do you play any other instruments?
Just saxophone.
Just
I dibble
saxophone?
and play and dabble on the keyboards,
On the
but
keyboard?
it's the
Okay.
sax.
Okay.
saxophone.
Okay. So I also got to ask. I mean, this has nothing to do with music.
Oh,
This has nothing to
God.
do with anything
Not
else
just-
you got going on. What's a hobby of yours that maybe your fans or people who
Okay.
follow you don't know about you?
I like to draw,
She
and I
likes
like to
draw.
paint.
Okay. Okay. That's
I like to draw.
Okay. Are you? Well, I shouldn't ask. Are you good at it? I mean, I hope you know. I mean, anything that you,
I
you
mean,
ain't got to be
let's
good
put
at
it
it
like
just
this.
to do it.
If I was to just draw a stick, you could make out exactly what I was drawing. If I was
a
to-
stick.
like a stick drawing. You know, how some people say, "Oh, I can't."
Okay, okay.
I can do a stick. My stick drawing is like really going into detail.
I thought she was literally talking about like a line, like that's a stick, bro.
But you know how you just trying to
Okay.
draw something
Right,
real quick
right.
for somebody
Yeah.
to grab. Me doing that, I've still
Has that always been something you like to do? Or is
Yes.
it just recent? Okay.
yes. It's all honestly it has. It's always been something I like to do. I liked
Yeah.
art in school,
I mean,
art class.
man,
Drawing and
She's
painting.
over here creating masterpieces with songs, so yeah, of course she loved art. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, that's honestly I like drawing.
Okay. What about reading? Do you do any
I like
reading?
to read. I do a lot of reading.
Who's one of your favorite authors right now?
See, I don't want to sound it's not corny.
It's not corny.
It's really not corny, but y'all, I've been diving off into the Bible lately. So.
I was hoping she was gonna say that.
not like
I was really
I'm
hoping
not
you were saying
lying. I'm
that.
serious. I am really serious.
No, I was really hoping you were saying that because when you're like, it sounds corny, but no, I'm like this. I hope she says the Bible. If you would say Harry Potter or
I'm
something,
not
I would have been a little
lying.
offended. But yeah, you said
Potter.
the Bible. That's rich.
I'm not trying to be. I'm really
Yeah,
serious.
that's
like,
legit though.
I feel like if I keep myself continue feeding myself
Right.
with spiritual
Well,
food,
Yeah.
it allows me to I'm better in all angles of my life.
Absolutely.
And I see that. And so Yeah.
And it's amazing, and sometimes I'm a PK, so I'm trying not to preach right now, but it's amazing that what you eat comes out of you, and so if you want to see something different in your life, sometimes you have to watch what you digesting in your system. So if you're eating the word, then that's what's going to come out of you, and that's what's going to come out of your thoughts. That's going to come out of your mouth. And so if you want to change your world, change what you're eating. So that's I'm gonna get off that box,
like
man,
that.
because
That is
I'll
true.
say that tomorrow for church, but but that's good. I like that. So you do painting, you read the Bible. Where can people find your music other than so if now if they go to your website, can they actually purchase music from
Everything
you?
is on there on my
What's
website.
up?
Just go to. I keep saying go to TiffanyTatumMusic.com.
Okay, it's got to be official.
All my links are in the front. So once you
no,
go to
I see that.
Tiffany Tatum Music, all my links to everything is on there.
Yeah,
You see that? Yeah.
You see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a one-stop shop right there. Everything that's about you is on the same website.
Yeah. I'm sorry
What
to
you want to
cut
say?
you off,
Go for it.
'cause, yeah, this is my assistant back here.
Okay.
I
Hey,
have-
mama.
Yeah, I have something else coming up with All Star Magazine, so I'll be releasing all of that shortly. So yeah,
Watch
y'all check
out.
All Star Magazine out too.
Okay, definitely,
Yeah.
man. She is hitting every avenue of things. I mean, I expect to see nothing but great things coming from you this year. I mean, well, not just this year. I mean, I see
Just
even further beyond.
thank
But I'm
you.
telling you, like, this is. I mean, I'm already a fan. I was a fan probably by one video.
Well, wait till you hear the rest of my stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, like, this is if y'all haven't checked her out, please check her out. Go. We keep preaching this the entire show. Please go to her website. Check out every single thing you're gonna find. Keep up with her updates. You're gonna find out about her singles, her albums coming out, the plays she's being in, the movies she's gonna be in, the commercials she's gonna be
Yes,
in,
all
the
of
tour
that.
she about to hold. You know what I mean? Like the whole 9 yards. We about to stop there. She about to be global. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, DFW can't keep you in the one place. So it's a thing that I believe that you're going to take over the world. So it's just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep it. And I love the fact that you believe in keeping the artistry, and I believe that you believe in being unique and
Just
staying
stay
true
yourself,
to who you are.
Stay true to who
Absolutely.
you are. Just be yourself. And like I told you, I've just been praying a
Yeah.
lot. So I just pray to just stay as authentic as I can.
Yeah.
Still soak up everything,
Right.
but just be me.
Right. And you
You
can't
know,
do
and-
nothing but be successful with that kind of mind frame. That's a beautiful thing. So, man, this has probably been one of the best interviews I've had in a long time. I mean,
Thank
this has
you.
really been fun. So, without further ado, this is Jason. I'm with Center Stage, and we had Tiffany Tatum. You want to say anything to the people before we go
I
and
just
wrap
want
it
to
up?
thank all the listeners for listening in. I do.
Thank y'all. Hey, we signing off. You already know what it is. Every weekend, Saturday at 2 p.m. Peace.
Please let me testify. You accusing me of loving on someone else. Please let me testify. You're saying I don't love you, but that's a lie. Please let me testify. How can you not see my love I have for you? Please let me testify. I've done everything to prove to you that my love is true. Ooh, before you walk away, let me plead my case. Why don't you believe me? Falsely accusing me. Please let me testify. You accuse me of. Please let me testify.
don't stop with your lies and all. Why you forfeit? I was just trying to go ball, drape you in designer clothes, put you way before my bros. Now I'm asking you the question, friend or foe? Let you testify, thought you were my ride or die. Overlook the nonsense, hoping you would remain my sweet innocent baby girl that I started with. Now I'm always like, who the hell you hit the club? If you can't hear me, you can dub this. Don't try to change the subject. You want me to fall back, but I'm like, no, you can't be trusted. Now look at how the tables turn. Might as well just let it burn, burn like a perm. Guess it's some things you just never learn. Say that I'm assuming, but I feel like I'm so sure with it. Give you just to do all the things that I adore. I'm not believing it's the truth, so you be begging me for more, but you don't stop. Yeah.